Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to our channel. Today was the big day, and voting started with a lot of expectations. Back in Kenya, there were prayers. People prayed for Raila Amolo Odinga. William Ruto did what many people believed was the best campaign ever. In fact, when they got into the presidential car together with Raila Amolo Odinga, those were gimmicks to send a message back at home that he had done enough. Seemingly, he knew that it was not going to be a rosy affair. It was not going to be a walk in the park. That is why he was leaving some indelible mark that even if Raila loses, they will still feel that he did his best. Celebrations started yesterday, and as I had warned, even in 2022, there was a red carpet. And so, ladies and gentlemen, voting started, and in the first round, there was good news. Raila won by 20 votes, and his major competitor, Mohamud Yusuf, got 18 against Richard Rimadarato 10. In the second round, Raila rose again, and the expectations were also rising. Dances were increasing back in Kenya and all over the world to those who support Raila. Raila was at 22, and Mohamud was at 18. Rimadarato, I think, got 5. In the third round, Raila dropped and Mohamud rose. Raila had 20 and Mohamud, the Djibouti candidate, had 23. And that is when suspicion started. Adrenaline was now rising. Those who support Raila were crossing their fingers and saying, God, what is happening? Not again. Those who don't support Raila were saying yes. In the fourth round, Raila had 21. He maintained that very range. Mohamud rose to 25. In the fifth round, Raila was still at 21. Mohamud had shot to 26. And then in the sixth round, Raila was eliminated, leaving Mohamud Yusuf as the only candidate. And I think it was now very obvious, even some of the Raila supporters, because he was not there and they had to get a candidate anyway, they decided to vote, and Yusuf Mohammed garnered 33 votes in round 7, and he's now the new African Union Commission chairperson, replacing Musa Faki. Back at home, the celebrations have died, the expectations have ended, and ladies and gentlemen, again, it is a setback, it is a disappointment, and Raila supporters will find it very difficult to accept the result, because they had the expectations, they had the deep state, Ruto's deep state. I'm not going to be surprised if the blame game will start. And I'm not going to be surprised if Raila Amolo Odinga's supporters will start saying it was a long con, because they had a lot of expectations, ladies and gentlemen. And in Raila's camp, there's a lot of tension. But adrenaline is even rising more in Ruto's camp, State House, and those who accompanied Raila Amolo Odinga, because they carried a delegation. They defended this delegation, that it was there to give Raila a moral support. People questioned the money that they were using. Of course, they maintained they went there on their own pockets. Where I come from, there is a say that bull peck kajiduogo. Simply means that sometimes when you go for some celebration and you carry your drum and your instruments, it's very easy. It's very light when you go. But when you are defeated, carrying the same instruments when you are coming back, they feel so heavy. This is exactly what the Ruto camp and the Raila camp will be facing. They're going to come back. They were expecting that there would be celebrations. The Raila supporters were expecting that they would meet Raila. There would be a resounding reception at the airport. William Ruto on his side was expecting that after this, he was going to take the bragging right that, nilipanga Gwambo. And I had suspected that had Raila won, he was going to fly to Homa Bay to start telling them, Juthurwa, I told you tutapangana. All that hope has been diminished. What people are now looking at is what next for Raila? What next for Raila? And I know critics are going to start questioning the amount of money that was used during the campaigns. People are going to question Ruto's commitment. And we had said it here on this platform that maybe Ruto's relationship with the other presidents would have been, was going to be detriment to Raila's bid to capture this seat. If you look at Twitter, there are celebrations. Already there are caricatures of Raila Amolo Odinga. Some are, drawing caricatures of him crying. Others have started criticizing the supporters. And those who support Raila Amolo Odinga, like Upondo Kaluma, were saying, this time round, it is home. And I remember people had been warned, please, we have always learned from the election years that have passed. People always have expectations, but after elections, hopes are diminished, people are sad. This time round, I know there were Raila supporters who were very much prepared because they were not very sure. When they come back home, nataka kusikia uchambuzi. Nataka kusikia those analysts, what might have happened, why Raila lost, why he won in the first round, but and the second round, but in the third round, Raila maintained, but Yusuf was gaining. And I think obviously it is because of the Madagascar candidate. And now I understand that we cannot take it for granted. The letter that had been written by the SADC Secretariat urging their candidates to support, to support one of their own. I believe most of them switched and they decided to support Mohamud Yusuf instead of Raila Amolo Odinga. Ladies and gentlemen, sad as it may be to the Raila supporters, that is the situation. And I know Raila is a very resilient man. Most of his supporters might not even recover from this in few weeks or months to come. But Raila is a master of resilience. He's going to sit down with this team, the campaign team. He's going to thank them and he will look forward. Panic is gripping the Ruto camp. Many feel that he might just start it from where he left it. I don't know what to think, but I want us to look at the reactions of many leaders and I want to see what people are saying because that is the situation. There's nothing we can do about it. We are all obliged to congratulate Mohamud Yusuf because in any competition there has to be a winner and a loser. Raila was really expecting that this would be his moment, but it didn't. And I know it is sad, but that is the reality.